Welcome back to Friends of the Night. So today I'm going to talk about something that was announced in the country that really excited me. And when it first was announced, there was a lot of pushback, and that is our country's Space Force. So the Space Force was announced, of course, under the Trump administration. So already a lot of pushback, whether you're a fan of Trump or not. The Space Force was announced under his administration. So there was a lot of pushback. And you have to also understand that a lot of people in the country don't believe in UFOs and aliens. So when there's budgets and whatnot set aside for the Space Force, it sounds like something from Star Wars or some type of fantasy movie. So there was a lot of pushback. And now all of a sudden I'm not seeing a lot else being done about it. I don't see a lot of conversations. I don't know what their goal is right now. So this morning I woke up, grabbed a cup of coffee, and I typed in Space Force. Like, what's going on? Because now it's been some time. They announced it. People made fun of it. Every talk show made fun of it. But I wanted to see. So, all right, it is a thing. They announced it. So what are they working on? So it seems, after a couple articles that I read, that they're getting a lot of pushback with investigating the UFOs. And I would think when this thing started, it was to find out more information about the UFOs. Like, are we being visited? Again, like I would think most people think it's to defend space, maybe from other countries or whatever it is, to defend, for America to have its, army in space. But at the same time, it's like, what about the UFOs? Like, that seems like it should be a key threat. So after investigating a little bit into it, I saw that the Space Force, they don't really want to be the ones in charge of finding the UFOs or more information about them or being the ones in control of it. And they're scared about being too involved because they're a new thing and they don't want people to laugh at them. They want to be taken seriously, So already the Space Force is saying, hey, listen, this is cool. We'll be the Space Force, but we don't want to be, directly in charge of the UFOs and, looking in the sky all day trying to see what's going on. So I find that super interesting. Now, the Navy on the other side, they're the ones that are reporting all these UFOs, and they're the ones that are willing to speak about it and talk about it. But you got to think, it's like they're the ones that are seeing them firsthand all the time. I said in my past videos, I believe that the UFOs that are coming to Earth are crashing down into the water. Best place to go, the depths of the ocean, you can hide out. Okay, so we've been over that in my previous videos. But today I look it up and they're like, the Navy is the one that's saying, hey, like, we're not scared to talk about it. And they're not scared to talk about it because that's not their overall mission. The Navy's job isn't just to like see UFOs and report them. Obviously, they're in control of the water. So that's why they're a little more open to talk about the UFOs, and they're not scared to, sound crazy because that's not their thing. But they're the ones in the ocean seeing these things all the time. So I find that super interesting that, the Space Force is like, hey, we don't want to be in charge of reporting all these UFOs or looking for them on a daily basis because right now we know the country will just laugh at us. And the Navy, on the other hand, are the ones in the water doing all this stuff. And they're like, hey, man, like we are seeing these things and it's freaking us out. And we're going to tell you what we see. Like we'll tell you. It's okay. So I think a big hurdle right now is getting people to believe, that the Space Force is important and it's not just a joke. And going back to President Trump, it came under an administration that a lot of people hated, So this on top of it is just a joke. No one's taking it seriously. And the guys that are a part of the Space Force have to figure out the right rollout. Like, what is the plan? How are we going to get people to take this seriously? We can't just be the ones saying that there's UFOs and that's why we're here. Because most of the country, fans of this channel, we believe, so we're here to get more information because we already believe. But there's a lot of people that are very, short-sighted. They don't think too deep about things. They're very surface layer. And this Space Force thing sounds like it's something out of a movie. So for the Space Force to have, a big financial thing behind them to keep it growing. Like, think about it. You're flying around space. Like, and it's going to be expensive. So in order for this rollout to be super strong, we're going to need a lot of money behind it. And, for me personally, I think it's important. Like, I think if we can get to the moon, if we can get to these things, like, I'm a huge fan of NASA. I believe all this stuff. Over about maybe 4 weeks ago, about a month ago, I went to the Kennedy Space Center, and we had a great trip. I went with a bunch of guys, and, we love this stuff, and we support NASA and, finding out about space. And to me, how could you not care about this type of stuff? So with all the recent UFO sightings happening, I do think it's cool that we have, an army being built, as crazy as it sounds, but even let's just say, okay, fine, it's not aliens. Aliens don't exist. It's good just to have an army of people from America going up to space, because again, you have Russia right now, you have China, someone's going to go up there and start to claim it and start to work on more stuff up there. And for us to have our own impact is super important. Like, why would we want to be that behind if on Earth we're supposed to be like the ones that are first and doing it right, and the most powerful country in the world? So I think it's important that we're up there, and we're making a name for ourselves, and we're discovering more stuff, and I just truly support it. So going back to the future of where the Space Force is going, it's going to be hard because the American people, not everybody believes in it. So it's not like the Navy or the Marines, like where it's like we know it's important. There's still like probably half of the country's laughing at this thing. Like if you go on YouTube and you type in Space Force, it's everybody making fun of it. So how much good stuff can happen from that if everybody's making fun of it? Like, it's gonna take something crazy until everybody backs up and says, oh shit, like maybe we do need this thing. Like, what happens if Russia right now gets up there and they do something? We're gonna feel like, fuck, man, we should have been working on this. Like, we should have done something. But a lot of the Americans, they're just real like, oh, we know aliens don't exist. President Trump's an idiot. And then it's too late. Then it's too late. So again, I support the Space Force. I think it's super interesting. I'm not even a big Star Wars fan. It's not like I saw Star Wars and now I think this is like relevant. I am not even that big of a Star Wars fan. Like, I believe in aliens. I believe in UFOs. And on top of it, I think it's smart for us to get up there and be one of the first ones to start building and just learning more about space. And I think you need some defenders to do so. You're up there. What happens if we go up there and Russia goes up there and we're like, and they just want to fight? Like, it sounds ridiculous, I know, but I'm just saying, like, it's good to bear arms and, just hold your ground and want to know more about everything. And that's just how I feel about it, guys. So if you're a supporter of the Space Force, leave some love down in the comments, because everybody's making fun of anyone that really believes in this thing or thinks it's a good thing. So, guys, thanks a lot for tuning in, and I'll talk to you soon.